All right. We call to order the Planning Commission meeting for January 15th, 2026. Please stand for a pledge of allegiance. Now, a moment of silence. Everyone can sit down. We'll have a roll call.
Dominique Barabino.
Shelley Candian.
Christy Murray.
Ed Connell.
Can I get a motion to approve meeting minutes for November of 2024?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second that motion.
Everybody vote. Moving on to organizational procedure, we need to do election of the officers.
If you want to move that to later on in the agenda, that's something that you four need to agree upon.
We can move it to later.
Okay. Yeah, we're okay with moving it. There is no unfinished business, so on to new business.
Talking in my shell.
Go ahead. Okay, we'll open the public hearing.
Good evening. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas, and I wish you a prosperous New Year. First on the agenda for new business is the preliminary plat for 120 Barber Street, parcel G12037D, to build 4 single-family homes. The owner of the property is Alley Land LLC, and they've turned in the preliminary plat. If you look at the page for the preliminary plat, it shows this is going to be at the corner of Barber Street and Pippin Street. This preliminary plat shows all the required setbacks. Just as a note, this preliminary plat application was turned in prior to the new ordinance going into effect. So with the 15-foot setbacks on the front, that complies with the code that was in place at the time when he turned in his application. And now I'd like to introduce Mr. Richard Gilbert, representing Alley Land LLC, so he can speak to the project, and you can ask him any questions.
No, to the mic.
I really didn't prepare anything to say, but I think it's pretty straightforward. All the utilities are right there in place. The homes we were going to do there will be like kind with the ones that are right there in the area. And we do have a little homeowners association with the properties all around there, so we were going to include them in that to try and keep it, looking pretty straight. If y'all have any questions?
Just like the ones that are there now, correct?
Similar, real similar. We might do a different plan, but they'll kind of fall in line.
Works for me.
No questions.
We don't have any questions from the audience for this one, so do I close the public hearing? closing the public hearing for Barber Street. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to move ahead with the planning.
I second that motion with staff approval.
Everybody vote? I got approval. All right, we open it again. Open the public hearing.
Next on your agenda item is preliminary plat for 408 Newmantown Road, parcel G14032, to build 176 townhomes. Now, there are 88 lots, and it's going to be 2 units per lot. And I gave you all a copy of the case analysis from the October 17th, 2024 meeting, where this body approved the rezoning of those 5 acres back there. And for that rezoning, there were a bunch of stipulations that were placed on that rezoning application, and the owner has met all those stipulations or those special conditions. Representing Landmark Investments LLC is Mr. Robert Titus of EMC Engineering.
Thank you. I'm Robert Titus with EMC Engineering, as Mr. Palmer said. Sorry.
Can't hear you.
Yes, it is. Sorry about that. Unfortunately, the owner of the property and the developers and his wife had a medical procedure this morning, so he's unable to attend. As Mr. Palmer said, a portion of the property was rezoned to RC1 to be consistent with what the piece that was already zoned RC1. The plan is to put 88 lots with single-family attached units on those lots. We prepared the plans in accordance with the stipulations were required as part of the rezoning of that portion of the property. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer
Could
them
you
as
speak
best
up,
I
please?
can.
I can't hear you.
I'll backtrack. So it's 88 lots, single-family attached. And as Mr. Palmer said, we've submitted plans in accordance with the codes, ordinances, and the special conditions that were required for the 5 acres that were rezoned to be consistent with the property that was already there as the RC1. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
We do have one comment from the audience, from the public hearing. We have Carla Harrison, if you'd like to step up.
Good evening. So I'm Carla Harrison, and I live on Lakeview Drive. Sorry, my phone locked on me. Okay. So I do have just, I think, really one question on this development. And I realize it's pretty much a done deal at this point, but the one significant question I have is, I was told that there was going to be 2 ins and outs to the entire development. And what I'm seeing on this paper is one main entrance that services most of the development. And then on the other side, there's a small T in and out. So there's not 2 complete in and out entrances. So I'm curious to learn a little bit about that and why they're not going to have a good impact on the traffic in and out of there. I thought they were supposed to be true in and outs. So the other things that I wanted to bring up this evening, my goodness, aren't really specific questions about this property. They're things that caused me to question because of looking at this. And one of them is, I noticed when I printed out the information online, and I get, again, that there are minimum standards, and then there are let's do better standards. And so my first thing is about public notification. This particular development was talked about a lot 2 years ago when things were rezoned and all of that. Since then, we've had notification that Newmantown is going to be stressed with a traffic circle and lots of construction, and now we've got obviously the 400 or so vehicles from this development that are going to go on. And so my concern is, I know that they did their due diligence when they drew all this up, and they did a traffic study, and they did all of the required studies. But my question is, why are we letting developments go so far out after the study when we are growing so rapidly and our traffic patterns are constantly changing? And it's the same, again, I go back to this development, and I apologize, y'all are just the example. It's a done deal, so I'm not here to fight it. But we just authorized, as a city, $5.7 million renovations to start on our community center. So we're adding 400 cars to that road where we have no sidewalks, where we're trying to draw in our community. Lots of those are kids for those football fields, the soccer fields, and all of that. So again, I'm just asking for some more forward thought from this commission. Also with the public notice, this was filed in a Richmond County paper, which I understand is the only legal place to file it now. It's the Augusta Chronicle. We're in Columbia County. We don't have a Columbia County paper anymore. So my ask is, let's do better. I mean, the people who live over there, like I do, had no idea that maybe it grew a little bit more, or the wetlands are going to be really, really impacted. There were signs up, again, over 2 years ago. Nobody knew about this meeting tonight. Nobody really knows because there's no signs or anything. Again, I know it's not required. It doesn't have to be up there. It doesn't have to be put on the city's website. It doesn't have to be mailed out in a utility flyer or put on the marquee or any of the other things that the city can be proactive and do. My ask is that we just do better than the bare minimum, and that we, as we grow, and honestly, no offense to anybody in this room, but our city is being purchased by developers. It's going to be developed, and I think people, when we know meetings are coming and we know what's happening and we know that what's said here, 2 years ago is going to impact us today with all of the other things that come on today, I think people pay attention. I used to be on one of the city boards, and I had a really unfortunate situation where a gentleman came in front one day and was terribly concerned about some things that were changing, and he had no idea. The signs were there, all the notices were there. Should he have known? Probably. But it was very sad that he didn't know. They were absolutely devastated what was happening in their neighborhood. So my ask is just really simple. Let's do better with that. And again, no offense to anybody on this board, I have some major objections to active real estate agents sitting on our planning commission. Not anything against you guys specifically, but the field, when you work in that and you sell the property and you're working with developers and things like that, it's in your best interest to have good relationships with those folks. It's not necessarily in the city's best interest to have somebody who's entering into those kinds of relationships on a planning commission. So just things like that. The optics here are starting to look really bad. It's been a long time since we've had a full staff in planning and zoning. So I know everybody's kind of running thin and doing the best they can. But like everybody else in the city, let's dig down and let's do better. That's all. So, anybody have any questions of me at all?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
But do you guys have answers to her question about the in and out thing?
So as far as the wetlands go, we're not going to have any impact on the wetlands. We're required, or developers or engineers are required to have permits if they're going to impact any wetlands. It's a long, drawn-out, expensive process. For most of the time, developers tell us, no, stay away from it. On top of that, those wetlands are kind of confined to what's considered a state waters, and that state waters has a 25-foot undisturbed buffer that we are not allowed to impact at all. So just to alleviate some of your concerns about the wetlands, there's not going to be any impact on the wetlands. And we're actually, we have stormwater detention areas that act as stormwater quality features for post-construction. They'll help filter out the pollutants, the brake dust, all that may get into the stormwater. It goes into the pond, it settles out before it's released. So I hope that helps alleviate some of your concerns on that. As far as sidewalks go, the stipulation included a right turn lane to help with traffic, and we are adding sidewalks along the area where we have the right turn lane, so that should help. Were you saying 2 points of ingress and egress for the development?
Yeah, I just saw one on the main side where most of the houses can get into, and then one that ends in a T. That's not true in and out for the entire development.
Yeah, so I don't know that we ever had a plan for multiple entrances in and out. So I'm not sure how to really address that. There is a there's a significant grade change from where the little section is with 4 to 8, I think it was, that has the T, and the T is there so emergency vehicles can make the turns. We're required to have those in place.
I'll ask because I asked at the city offices the other day, and they said it was a requirement to have 2 in, 2 out. So where that question came from.
We were not aware of that, if that's the case. Okay. Is there any other questions, any other concerns I might be able to? And listen, we understand you're a concerned citizen, and we're here to address your concerns. If you have questions, we'll answer them the best we can.
Well, I appreciate that y'all are putting sidewalks in. My biggest concern in that area is the curve that goes up to the community center. It's kind of a rough curve where everybody runs off the side of the road.
Right. And it's,
I
if,
mean, again, it doesn't impact you because it's already approved, but if we're
Yeah,
developing
well,
the community center.
this developer is different than most. I think Mr. Palmer might agree with that, is he cares about what he does in the community. He's the one that, he did the houses on Old Thompson Road. They're really nice looking. He cares about the community, because he understands if he throws something out there and people don't want it, they're not gonna rent it, buy it, whatever it is, and he's not benefiting by that by any way. So if there's any other questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them. Sure.
I think we're all good. We'll close the public hearing. All right, closing public hearing. Do you guys have any other comments?
No comment.
No comment.
You're, he's talking, I'll wait. Do we do the election yet? Shelley?
No,
We moved it to the end.
no, we're gonna do it after. He has a question, but not a public hearing question. He's got a
Are
question
you
for
adding
him.
2 more houses now to this development from the last time you got approved? You going from 174 to 176?
In the rezoning, it was presented as 174 units.
It happens all the time.
That's fine. I'm not 100% sure, but I think in the rezoning, that was just for that one piece of property that had the lots in it. And then one of the requirements was that we had to add the lots that were separated from it, so that may have increased it, and then we actually lost lots from the 174 that we had. So do we have 8? How many did we have with the dead end? Yeah, oh, okay. So I think one of the requirements were that we could not tie into the sewer that is across Newmantown Road. For that, what we were gonna have is that first phase, which was the 6 units. So we had to combine those 2 together, and I think that's the reason it went to 176. So it's 6, so maybe we lost a few
Yeah,
somewhere,
math is
and that's
fun.
kind of why it went up. Because we have not substantially change the layout since the zoning, I'm sure of that.
Any other questions?
Hmm?
Any other questions?
Um,
No? Would anybody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with staff recommendations.
I second that motion.
Would anybody like to take a vote? I think that's it for new business, yes? Yes? We're gonna do, we're gonna do election for officers. Would anybody like to nominate
Which officer are we doing first?
chair? Right? Y'all, I can't nominate myself.
Just gonna say something.
You need to open the floor for nominations.
Okay, opening the floor.
What'd she say?
She's opening the floor for
Nomination for chair.
elections.
Okay, I knew that, I'm just.
I'd like to make a motion that Shelley continues to be chair for 2027, 2026.
I'll second that motion.
Do we all have to vote? I think that's all four of us. You?
What?
He voted.
Okay. And now for co-chair.
Associate.
Hmm?
We doing associate now?
The co-chair,
Vice Chair.
vice chair, sorry. Ed's nominating himself.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Everybody want to vote? There you go. I think we all voted for Ed. Now we have staff comment. Oh, we're going to close it, sorry. Then we have staff comments.
Okay, appreciate y'all being here this evening. As you know, the depot, we had our ribbon cutting on December the 20th. It was well attended, and everybody that has toured the building has really, they've had very positive comments, is what I'm trying to get to. If you would like to tour the depot, you can call the event planner, and she will schedule you a time to come down there and take a look at it if you already haven't seen it. And it is a really nice building, and I think it's going to be a big enhancement to the city. As far as the comprehensive plan, we put the final draft on the website, and we have received no comments from any citizens or anything like that. So the comp plan will be adopted by resolution at the city council's February meeting. That is the only comments I have.
Okay, general comments, anybody have anything?
Happy New Year.
Everyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn the meeting.
Thank you.
I second that emotion.
All right, we've adjourned.